Every man, at some point, finds himself caught in a loop thinking about a woman nonstop. He can't sleep, can't focus, replaying moments, staring at old texts, imagining what he should have said, or what he'll say next. But here's the real question. What if you could flip that dynamic? What if she was the one who couldn't stop thinking about you? What if her mind was running wild, replaying, wondering, craving, not through manipulation, not by chasing, but by planting a seed in her subconscious, one that grows quietly, powerfully, without effort, without neediness. This isn't a trick, it's a science. It's called the emotional imprint. It's grounded in psychology. Backed by experience, fueled by understanding human desire. Here's the truth. Attraction isn't built on looks or status or money. Those help, sure, but what creates obsession? What makes you unforgettable? Emotion. When a woman can't stop thinking about you, it's not because of what you gave her. It's because of what she felt. Neil Strauss hinted at this in The Game. He didn't force his presence, he created emotional moments. Moments that stuck. Moments women couldn't forget. That's your first key. You don't chase. You create experiences that linger. So how does it work? Let's start with contrast. Our brains are wired to notice what breaks the pattern. If every guy texts her, "Good morning, beautiful," you become the exception, not by being rude, not by being weird. By being different, you become a disruption, a pleasant shock to the system, a mental weight. What was that? Maybe it's mystery. Maybe it's humor, clever, not try hard. Maybe it's silence, intentional and powerful. You don't need more words. You need words that land. That's what Mystery mastered. That's what Neil refined, turning contrast into style, into storytelling, into frames that made women feel like they were part of something rare. Enter the emotional bath. Robert Greene, in The Art of Seduction, calls this moment a peak state. When someone feels excitement, tension, thrill, or fear, they attach that emotion to the person they're with. So you become the anchor. You are that feeling. It could be a spontaneous walk through a part of the city she's never explored. A blindfolded surprise, a burst of laughter mixed with a little uncertainty, safe but edgy. Every time she remembers feeling alive, she thinks of you. Here's where most guys fail. They give too much, too fast. They flood her with attention, compliments, constant availability. It feels good for a moment, then it fades. To make her think about you when you're not there, you need to create space. Gaps, unresolved questions. Mystery fuels desire. Certainty kills it. If she knows everything about you, there's nothing left to explore. Nothing left to wonder, and without wonder, there's no fantasy, no obsession. So what do? You manage how much you reveal. Not by faking, not by lying, but by staying just slightly out of reach. Just enough to keep her imagination engaged. Because desire is born not in facts, but in the unknown. Now layer in mirroring and misdirection. Most people mirror unconsciously. You do it intentionally. You reflect not just her behavior, but her ideal self. If she's artistic, share a creative story. If she's adventurous, drop a wild tale that pushed boundaries. If she values intellect, challenge her gently, confidently. Make her prove herself. Make her feel like you understand her core. That's when she starts to see you not as a stranger, but as someone familiar. And when she thinks she knows you, you pivot. A story that doesn't add up, a moment of silence, a teasing comment that hints at something deeper. This keeps her mentally alert. She starts replaying conversations, looking for clues, and when the brain is missing closure, it loops, it replays, it obsesses. That's the Zeigarnik effect in action. Use cliffhangers. I could tell you the wildest thing that happened last summer, but you're not ready for that story. Then smile and move on. Now she's thinking, what happened? Why did he stop? She's hooked. Now add depth. Emotional richness by listening not passively but attentively. You hear what others miss, the pauses, the inflections, the unsaid. Then you say something sharp, personal, specific. She feels seen, not admired. Understood. That's a bond, not sexual, psychological. Once a woman feels seen on that level, she wants more. Not because you flatter her, but because you recognize her. Now bring in emotional contrast. Most guys pick one emotional note and stick to it, always nice. Always funny, always dominant, but one note gets boring. You're a symphony, sometimes intense, sometimes playful, sometimes quiet, sometimes chaotic. That unpredictability creates spikes, and those spikes create memories. Let's talk frame. Your frame is how you see the world, and how you let others step into it. Most men try to win her over. But the real shift is when she asks, "Do I impress him?" That shift changes everything. Let's say she tests you, teases you, pulls back. Most guys panic, over-explain, double text, but when your frame is solid, you smile. Say, "You're cute," when you pretend to disagree. And move on. Now you're unshaken, and that's magnetic. Next, emotional pacing. Don't disappear, don't smother. Create a cadence, intense connection, then space. Laughter, then pause. This rhythm builds anticipation. It creates curiosity, and in that wondering you live rent-free in her mind. That's addiction psychology, not manipulation, amplified desire. Now, go deeper. Every woman has a secret fantasy. Sometimes it's not about power, status, or money. It's about transcendence, feeling something rare. Feeling more alive. You don't become her fantasy, you awaken it through stories, not flexes, not achievements. Stories that pull her in, that make her imagine being next to you in another city, another life, another mood. You don't just tell her stories, you let her walk through them. And if she likes that world, she won't want to leave it. Now, voice, not just what you say, but how you say it. Your tone, your silences, your breath, they all matter. Speak too fast, nervous. Pause with intent, power. Slow it down, let her lean in. Once she leans in, she's investing. Then comes identity disruption. If she thinks she's got you figured out, the intrigue dies. So be the contradiction. The poet and the savage, the calm and the chaos. Let her struggle to label you. That mental uncertainty creates attachment. Plant verbal anchors. This song reminds me of your smile that night. Red lights make me think of when you almost told me that secret. Now, when she hears that song or sees that light, she feels you. That's NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. You're tying memory to emotion and timing when you say something matters. Compliment her when she's already been complimented. Meh. Say something deep when she's distracted, it's lost. But hit her at the right moment when she's vulnerable or reflective, and you make a mark. And finally, pull back with purpose. After a deep moment, emotional or physical, withdraw, not to punish, but to let the feeling expand. Let silence echo. Let her wonder, let her ache, because in that space she replays it all. And when you return confident, grounded, unbothered, it reignites the fire, but stronger, because now she's not reacting. She's craving. This is how obsession is born, not through logic, through emotion. You don't chase, you become unforgettable. You're not just attention, you are transformation. Because when a woman feels like she grows around you, she glows around you. And when you're gone, every man she meets gets compared to the one who made her feel alive. That's not game. That's legacy.